Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to the online session of your 11th standard entrepreneurship children. We have been seeing about the various attitudes and then about the motivation and two different theories of motivation in our previous session. So now we are going to see about the difference between entrepreneur and employee. So the decisions to start career or lifestyle has never been easy. It takes a great deal of courage, energy, attitude and aptitude in decision making the career. There was a time when doctors' children were motivated to become doctors and engineers' children were motivated to become engineers, and so on and so forth. The career used to be decided by parents. Nevertheless, the business and service class aspired to be doctors and engineers. Entrepreneurship is the idea whose time has come now. Entrepreneurs' repute in India stands way ahead of the professional class. So career, life, work, opportunity, all these things. Previously, how it was? It was decided by the parents. Yes, so a doctor wanted his son or daughter to be a doctor again. An engineer who wanted his son or daughter to be an engineer again. So they wanted the profession to be carried forward to the next generations. So the employment or the opportunity of life was decided by the parents previously, right? So, but what happened, as these people, doctors or engineers, wanted their children to be doctors or engineers again, these business people did not want their children to be in business. Because as they were going through so much of trauma and tensions, they did not want their children to suffer with the same. As we know, definitely the activities of business is always uncertain. It may end up in a profit, it may end up in loss also. But people in business, they decided that no, this suffering should get over with me and my children need not suffer with the same. So this was the mindset of the people. And later, now entrepreneurs' repute in India stands way ahead of the professional class. So now what happened? It has changed. These doctors, engineers, all these people, okay, they are just being moved backwards, and this entrepreneurship is just going far ahead of this professional class. Okay, so these people, engineers, doctors, lawyers, all these people, we call them as professionals. So these entrepreneurs are now going far ahead of this professional class. Not that all can become entrepreneurs. All those who cannot be entrepreneurs for their own different reasons now choose their options. Service class takes up employment in different enterprise of their choice according to their aptitude. Broadly, the difference between entrepreneur and employee is that an entrepreneur is the owner of an enterprise and employee is in the service of the enterprise, and both work in the interest of the enterprise. So the following are the basic differences. So now business has developed in a very vast way. Right? So many are getting into the business, but again there are limitations. Not that everyone can enter into business, right? So on that case, those who want to choose employment opportunities, that is, those who are ready to work with others, they go for that option, and those who are able to start up their own business or venture, they are starting it up, right? So the basic difference is the entrepreneur is the owner of the enterprise and employee is in the service of the enterprise, but both work in the interest of the enterprise, right? So entrepreneur owns the enterprise, employee works for that enterprise, and together enterprise is their main thing. So both are working for that particular enterprise. So let us see the basic differences of an entrepreneur and an employee. First comes the motive. The motive of an entrepreneur is to start a venture by setting up of an enterprise. So, an entrepreneur always wants to start a business. That's it, right? One undertakes the venture for his personal gratification. So, for his own aim or passion or profit, he is working on. Whereas the employee's job is to render one's service in the ongoing or new enterprise set up by someone else, right? So, entrepreneur sets up his own enterprise, but employee works for someone's enterprise. Then status. An entrepreneur, as I said, he is the owner of the enterprise, and an employee is the servant in the enterprise owned by the entrepreneur, right? So, entrepreneur is owner and employee is the servant in the enterprise which is owned by this entrepreneur. Then risk bearing. An entrepreneur, so when we start a business, of course, we own the risk also as we own the profit, right? So, being the owner of an enterprise, he should assume all risk and uncertainty involved in running the business, and also he should be available for the business 24/7. Yes? So, here being the owner of the enterprise assumes all risk and uncertainty involved in running the enterprise, and he also considers and thinks about one's business 24 hours. But an employee being a servant, right, he do not bear any risk. So, his maximum risk is he may lose that job, that's it. So, once he loses this job, he is going to search for some other job, he will move to another enterprise. So, that is the maximum extent of the risk which is owned by an employee. But when it comes to an entrepreneur, the risk level is higher because he may lose his enterprise itself. He may have to start from the scratch. So, that is the big difference here when it comes to risk. Okay, so he may lose one's job, maybe with or without some compensation. So, that could be the maximum risk taken by an employee. And one thinks of one's enterprise only for as he is working on duty for certain hours only. So, as long as he is inside the enterprise, maybe if it is going to be a 10 to 5 job, 9 to 5 job, whatever it is, during that time alone he is worried about the enterprise employee. But an entrepreneur, he cannot be like that. He may get a late night call from his customer, a client or a supplier, maybe around 1 a.m. He should attend. He has no other go because it is his business. He owns the business, and obviously he should think about it 24/7. And the reward. What is the reward an entrepreneur will get? He will get profit. And what about an employee? He will get salary. He may get increment. He may get bonus. So, a fixed amount of salary, right? So, here the reward an entrepreneur gets for bearing the risk involved in the enterprise is profit, or at some times handsome profit, which is uncertain. Okay, so he may get a good profit or a decent profit, which is again not a certain one, right? And whereas an employee gets rewarded for one's services, he renders to the enterprise in the form of salary, which is fixed and certain as per the appointment letter issued. So, while appointing an employee, the enterprise says this will be your salary. So, that is fixed for him, right? So, that is how the rewards differ from entrepreneur and employee. In addition, one gets a bonus as per the prescribed rules, festival tokens, etc. in cash or kind, sometimes based on performance. So, there is a term called as performance bonus. We would have heard at our home, maybe our brothers or sisters, even fathers, there is a term called as performance bonus, which means based on the work they have rendered in the organization, they will be paid an additional amount of bonus, which is prevalent in the enterprises today, right? So like this, they have certain amount of income which is fixed, and they will definitely get it. They will have increments every year. They will get festival tokens, any festival bonus. We would have heard these words, Deepavali bonus, Pongal bonus, like this. So they will get that, and even based on their performance, they receive bonus, right? And now moving on to innovation. So innovation is again the important work of an entrepreneur. The entrepreneur himself or herself thinks over what and how to produce goods and services. And one has to bear in mind about meeting the changing demands of the customers. Hence, he acts as an innovator as well as a change agent, whereas an employee executes the set of plans given in the schedule. Thus, one's job gets to meet up the targets decided by one's employees. So, entrepreneur, he should be innovative. He should decide on what should be done, how it should be done, who will do this. All these stuffs has to be decided by an entrepreneur. So, what is the work of the employee here? He is not innovative. An entrepreneur gives the set of rules and regulations. An entrepreneur makes the business plan, he gives the strategy, he gives the method on what the work should be done. All these will be given by the entrepreneur. An employee should just follow it. That's it. But the entrepreneur's targets, yes, meeting up the targets are decided by these employees. Only if the employee works effectively, the entrepreneur can reach his target. If not, if he is not having efficient worker, then definitely he would not be able to meet up his goals and targets. Now, qualification. So basically, there is no specific qualification mentioned for an entrepreneur. Okay, it is not that mandatory that he should have finished this degree, he should have completed this PG degree, he should have completed this, that. No, there is no such specifications at all. Okay, but he requires more number of qualities. We will see that. An entrepreneur needs to possess qualities and qualifications like high achievement motive, originality in thinking, far-sightedness, risk-bearing abilities, and much more, whereas an employee needs to possess qualification as per the status in the enterprise, which are preset and detailed in black and white. Like an accountant can be a CA or MCom, etc., and a manager may be an MBA in marketing or finance or human resource, etc., as per the nature of the employees. So when it comes to an entrepreneur, he should have all the moral values and those set of qualities and qualifications. But when it is an employee, he should be qualified based on the position he is going to work, right? So if a person is going to be a manager, then he should have completed his MBA in marketing, MBA in finance. HR manager means he should have completed MBA in human resources. And when a person is accountant, maybe he should be a BCom graduate, he can be an MCom, he could be a CA, depends on the position. A person to be a chartered accountant, definitely he should have completed his CA, right? So that is how it changes. So based on the position, right, the qualification should be there for an employee, but for an entrepreneur, there is no such requirement is there. So once again, I am just giving you a quick recap. When we see this, the motive is an entrepreneur will start the business and an employee will work for that business. And then the status, an entrepreneur is the owner and employee is the servant of that particular enterprise. Risk, an entrepreneur bears the risk of loss, and the employee bears the risk up to his job level only. Then the rewards, an entrepreneur will get a profit, a decent profit, or even no profit at times, and at times of course loss. Yes, there is no certain reward an entrepreneur will get. No one can assure that you will definitely get 10,000 rupees profit this month. It could be 9,000, it could be 11,000, whatever happens. Yes, but for an employee, the rewards are he gets his salary, he will get his festival tokens, he will get his performance bonus, he will get his increments. All these are fixed. Then innovations, an entrepreneur should innovate. He should formulate the plans, strategies and everything for the business, and that has to be followed by the employee. So employee need not be innovative. Qualification, an entrepreneur should have the qualities and qualifications of moral values, right? He should be highly motivated, he should have his own thinking, he should forecast to an extent, right? And he should be able to bear the risk. Like this, he should possess these qualities and qualifications. But when it comes to employee, he should possess the educational qualifications which is required for the position he is designated, right? With this, we are coming to the end of the difference between entrepreneur and an employee. See you in the next session with about intrapreneurship. Thank you. To receive our online lessons, please press the subscribe button and you will receive the latest updates. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.